Evening. Greg Meskel here with you. Hope everyone's doing well. Going to talk a little Pennsylvania water polo here tonight. It's the only state right now playing high school water polo. They are about to head into their end of season tournament this weekend in Pennsylvania at Wilson High School. And so we're going to talk with a couple of Pennsylvania area high school athletes whose teams are in the postseason and they're making their way um, through the playoffs here. This has been a year unlike any other, as I'm sure many of you know. Before we get to that, I just want to give a quick plug to Water Polo Tough. Got the shirt on here. If you haven't checked out the Water Polo Tough website, go to waterpolotough.com. Brand new campaign launched by USA Water Polo. Really fun commercials, short 30-second videos. There's great photos. They're on the USA Water Polo Instagram page right here, but also on waterpolotough.com. A brand new spot with Maggie Steffens and Ashley Johnson comes out next Wednesday. So let's get to our guests here. We have first up Maggie Krieger from Wissahickon in Pennsylvania, and then Ryan Mclaughlin from LaSalle in Pennsylvania. And Ryan just playing a game tonight, so appreciate him joining us literally out of the pool, but we're going to get an idea of what's gone on so far in Pennsylvania high school water polo. And we will start first. Let's bring Maggie in here. If you have questions, thoughts, keep them in the comment section here. And we'll talk a little PA water polo. No other water polo state hate here. No anti-Ohio or anywhere else. Maggie, hello.
Hello. How are
How you
you?
doing? Good, good. Thanks for being here with us. Appreciate you taking the time. I know this has been a strange water polo season, but it's been great to have high school water polo going on in Pennsylvania. Just for starters, kind of tell us a little bit how has this year been different than last year? Obviously, we're in the midst of a pandemic, but schedule, the way you've had to operate, how is it different from last year?
Yeah, so this year has definitely been a lot different. To start off the season, they told us we were going to have outdoor games, but obviously being in Pennsylvania, it's really cold. So that lasted actually only 1 week. And then we somehow were able to finagle some things and we were switched to inside, but we were only allowed to have 25 fans in the pool at a time. And with players and everything, that ended up being no fans were allowed. So that was definitely a sudden shift just because we relied a lot off of fans and having people get us hyped. But yeah, this season was definitely a lot different because we couldn't have anybody there. It was just playing without people.
And so did you play a couple of games outside to start the year?
We only played 2 games and there were scrimmages outside. And then the first week it was actually 60 degrees but the pool was cold, so it didn't end up working out. But they showed us the schedule ahead of time and we were supposed to be playing in mid-October games at 7 p.m. and they were no way this is going to end up working out. So we switched it inside.
Yeah, gonna get a little cold there in Pennsylvania. For anyone who's been to the Northeast, they know the deal. We're talking Pennsylvania high school water polo here. Maggie joining us from Wissahickon High School. So the schedule, was it the same amount of games? Did every team play this year, or was it a different amount of teams?
So this year we were only allowed to play teams in conference. Usually every Saturday we would travel pretty far to play teams outside of conference. And I know last year we ended up playing maybe 25 games or so, but this year we were only able to play about 12 games, which is a lot different. And that definitely changed the season a bit because we were a lot used to gaining experience throughout those tournaments, which we didn't have. But yeah, we only played in conference teams, which is definitely going to be a struggle for this weekend since the teams that we're seeing here at States we've never played before and know nothing about.
Oh wow, okay. And your team's coming off of a two-goal win the other day. Just tell us a bit how kind of the postseason has gone leading into this Final Four this weekend.
Yeah, so yesterday we played Wilson. It was a really close game. We both were coming at each other, not knowing anything about each other since obviously we couldn't play games against them. But we were able to hold a good game against them. They were a really great team, and we played them last year in our game, which we ended up beating them to get third in the state last year. But we got to play them again this year, which was a lot of fun.
Now, I've followed Pennsylvania high school water polo enough to know that on the girls' side, North Penn seems to be the team that wins this thing. I think they've won it six years in a row. When you're talking about the large school championship, are they the team to beat again? How do you try and stop them?
Yeah, North Penn's a great team, and they're actually the district right next to us, so they're a big competitor. Last year, we beat them in 1 game, which really got the momentum going, and we were hoping to beat them again. And this year, since they're in our conference, we've played them twice, and the games are both really close. So they're the team we're actually playing first on Saturday, and if we beat them, then we would be in the top 2 for the state. So we've been working really hard. We know them really well. We play them often, so they're the team to beat, but we think it's possible to actually beat them.
Give us a little bit of a scouting report. What do they do well? What does your team do well? If people aren't able to see it, what can they imagine might go on at this game?
So we have a really strong whole set, Becca Valentine. They know that, we know that, so we know they're going to crash a lot on her. But they also have a really good set. I'm blanking on her name. I just know she's number 8. So I hope she's not watching this because we're going to be obviously crashing hard. But they also have another good player, but she got injured this year. But I've heard she's been playing a lot. So we're going to be – we don't know if she's actually going to play, but she's a great player, so we have to look out for her. But all around, they're good. We can't just we have to respect all of their players. They're all great. So we're going to have to really step up our defense this weekend.
And then who's on the other side of the bracket? Do you know the other 2 teams that are there, and one you might, if you're able to win, who you'd play?
Yeah, so the other teams are North Allegheny and Cumberland Valley, and the way they decided who would play who was, since we've never played each other, it was all a coin flip, and North Penn won the coin flip, and they decided that since North Allegheny is far away, they automatically have to play at 1 p.m. So they decided that they would want to play at 10 a.m. because they're going to be playing a later game if they win in the championship, and they want to have that time to play with a rest.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You mentioned one of the good players in your team. Just tell us about some of the other people that are key on your team and that have helped make your season a success so far.
Yeah, so last year we lost a good amount of players, so this year we were pretty much starting fresh. But without the spring, we worked really hard throughout the summer to get develop players and gain stability. So we have Becca, as I said, and then we have a sophomore named Maddie Johnson who's really fast. She's been really great on offense and defense. And then I play 2-meter defense pretty often, and I'm a lefty, which we use to our advantage. And then we have some other great players that are brand new. We have this girl named Gabby and another girl named Bernice who have never played before, and they're really great. And they're in the pool very often, really helping our offense.
Now, so many places around the country, it's been different. Places haven't been able to play water polo. Others have been able to do some kind of water polo. You've been able to actually play games. Has it meant something extra that you've actually been able to get out there and play when you know that other people haven't really gotten a chance to play as much water polo as they'd like?
Yeah, we've been really thankful every game. Our school was really on edge with us playing. Neighboring districts like Upper Dublin and North Penn originally started saying they weren't allowed to play, so we were worried the same thing was going to happen to us. But thankfully, some outdoor pools were able to fix some things and they were able to play. But every game, we've just thought of it as possibly our last because you never know what's going to happen. And that's what's been happening now, with states now because of COVID. If you lose, you're out. So every game, we're going with that mentality, we need to win because we don't want this to be our last game.
And then tell me about going forward in water polo. Do you have plans to kind of keep playing it beyond high school? Do you want to play college, that sort of thing?
Currently, I don't think I'm gonna play D1 or anything like that. But I definitely, all my schools, I'm making sure they have a club team so I can stay in the water polo community.
And then just tell us a bit about, you mentioned some of the skills of your teammates, but what do you enjoy about being a part of that team? Why are they a fun group to be a part of?
Yeah, we water polo at our school hasn't been a big thing. So we kind of use that to show everyone that water polo is this great thing and to join. So my freshman year, we weren't the best. We were developing and we probably had about 20 girls on the team. But as we've been getting better, we've gotten a lot more girls, and now we're up to about 40 girls or so. So we just kind of show that we're a great group of girls. Everyone's included, everyone has fun, and that's why we all like water polo so much.
And then for those people at your school that maybe don't know about the team or they're unsure what the sport is, you were saying it's still kind of growing. What's a reason you tell them why water polo is fun and why you like it and why maybe they should try it?
Pretty much the reason that I would say people should try it is it's so easy to get involved and become a good player. Like for me, for my school, mostly everyone starts freshman year, and we've been able to grow so much. So like it's not something, even though you can play at a young age, it's not something that you need to be playing since you were like 5 years old, and then that's the only way you can be good. We're all here to help each other, and we work hard to be good, and that's why it's so much fun to play. Like anybody can get good if they really try.
Excellent. Well, Maggie, appreciate you taking some time here, and best of luck this weekend in the Final Four in the postseason here.
Thank you so much.
All right. Maggie joining us here from Wissahickon High School in Pennsylvania. Appreciate her taking the time here. They're headed to what they're calling the end of season tournament, as she mentioned, and they're going to take on the defending champions, six-time champion consecutive North Penn. So they have a big test ahead. And now we'll keep it moving. We've got Ryan Mclaughlin here, who's going to join us. He is from LaSalle, not the college or the high school, but coming off of a game here tonight. So we'll bring Ryan in here. Appreciate him taking the time. And if you have questions here, anything positive to say, feel free to add in the comments. Ryan, hello.
Greg, how are you?
I'm doing
messy. I just got back from my game, but I'm more than
Well, I was just going to ask you. So I know you're just getting back from a game. How did it go?
Good. We played like our quarterfinal game against Mifflin. They came out really strong. You know, we played a really good team. We were lucky enough to like get the win. I was glad we got to go out there play in like a hostile environment against, you know, a team that we've played this year, and you know, come up with a win, sending us into like the Final Four this Saturday.
And what was the final score?
We won 16-13. It was
okay.
It was, you know, good atmosphere. I was glad.
Lots of fans there. We were just talking to Maggie before. She was saying early on there weren't a lot of fans allowed initially. Were they able to have people?
Well, we had a decent amount of fans. I mean, like the stands weren't packed like they normally would be for like a state quarterfinal game, but like especially in like the third and fourth quarter, like there was good energy at the pool, which like is something I really like. So I was glad that, you know, we got to play at a pool that was allowing fans.
Excellent, excellent. Now tell me about this weekend. So now have you advanced to this Final Four?
Yeah, so we won our quarterfinal game, so now we play in the semifinals. We also play North Penn, boys team.
Okay.
They're coming off of 3 straight state championships. Like they have a great coach and good team. Like we played them a couple weeks ago, and we beat them 7-8 in overtime. So hopefully we can keep that rolling coming into this Saturday.
Well, I asked Maggie the same thing. I'll ask you, kind of give us the scouting report. What kind of makes your team strong? What makes their team strong? How do you guys figure it out?
Well, I mean, on our team, we've had a lot of juniors step up. We got like our one center, PJ, and a new player this year named Gavin, who have been huge. And then like we have good senior leadership. We only got 5 seniors this year, but we've got great senior leadership from like my friends Kavork and August, who played really big tonight. I was really impressed with both of them. And so, and we have good players, but I cannot thank my coach enough. My coach, he brings the team together. He brings like the best energy. You know, most coaches are like a little bit older, but our coach is young. So I mean, he's obviously like sharing his wisdom, but he's also like a friend of ours, which like really helps the team camaraderie really come together.
And what's your coach's name?
Matt Del Rio. He's
okay.
Coach.
So like tell us a bit more about Matt. You know, you were saying he's kind of a younger guy. So what else does he do that kind of helps bring the team together and makes him a coach that you're proud to play for?
Well, he's been an assistant coach at LaSalle for like 7 years. So like in that role, he's like more of like a friendly guy. And then we picked up like another head coach. Like when we lost our head coach when I was a freshman, and then we picked up another head coach like that year, and then he didn't end up working out. So then Flats came in, and like ever since then, like he's really brought the team together. I could not have a better coach. I love playing for my coach. He's the best coach I've ever had.
Excellent. And tell us a bit more about your team. You mentioned some of the key people. You know, just some of the other people that maybe didn't give a chance to give a shout out to. Anyone else that's been kind of key this season?
Oh yeah, Matt Cohen and Jimmy O'Malley have been playing huge for us. You know, we've got a lot of juniors stepping up this year, which has me really excited for this weekend.
Excellent, excellent. So you've got the playoffs coming here. I was asking Maggie about this as well, but how has this year been different than past years? Obviously, COVID, pandemic, you're not sure if you're going to play, but just kind of give us a comparison how this season has compared to past years.
Well, a big difference this year is that like we've played like 12 games. Normally we play like 25 or 30. And so my high school, LaSalle, we have a 4-lane pool, so we can't, host home games. So we normally we drive to all of our games. We play away all the time. But this year, because our normal conference was like closed off for like social distancing and contact tracement and stuff, we played all of our games have been like an hour away. Like tonight, I played at 6 p.m., but like I got home at like 9 o'clock just in time to like make the ball, which was interesting. I was glad we got to play. I mean, I love the bus rides. The team energy is good. Like riding an hour in silence would be boring, but we made it.
Totally. What do you love about playing this sport? So you're sitting on a bus for an hour, you have to drive all over to keep playing. Why do you do it, and why do you like it?
Well, because I love to win. I mean, this year especially, we got to bring it all together. We got a strong team. We have a lot of guys that really, we're dedicated to our goals, and we just have to finish them this weekend.
Did you know going into the year that Pennsylvania is one of the only high school seasons happening in the country? Do you guys feel a little bit maybe in a better position? That's probably not the right word, but do you feel fortunate to be able to play water polo this year when so many people can't?
I couldn't be happier. I mean, coming into this year, there was lots of talk about not having a state tournament and stuff, which was crushing. Your senior year, you don't get to play at states, and then they brought in the idea of playing in the spring after having a regular season, and I personally wasn't a big fan of that. And then our coaches, all coaches across the state, refs, players, all came together, and we were listen, they just made the push to get us a state tournament, which is really a blessing. Especially we're playing at Wilson High School, and we've been fortunate enough to play there a few times, and the energy there is the best in the state. That pool, I don't know, it just feels like a real game. You're playing and it's loud, and it's not like when you go to a regular pool and it's quiet because of limitations on fans or no fans at all. I'm just glad that we can play in such a good pool this weekend, make it feel like a real state tournament.
Yeah, and is this like the real state tournament? Is it considered the Pennsylvania State Championship, or because certain schools didn't play, it's different?
It's a little bit different. Normally the states is Friday night you'll play the quarterfinal, Saturday morning you'll play the semifinal, and then Saturday night you play the final. But because you couldn't have people staying in hotels and stuff and coming from so far away, that's what tonight for the boys and Wednesday night for the girls is the Friday night of state, so the quarterfinals. But this is the state tournament. It's just one is single elimination, which is a difference. Normally there's a 3rd and 5th and 7th place game, but this year it's just everyone going for the championship.
Excellent. And are you planning to play water polo after high school?
I'm hoping to.
Yeah.
I decided right now probably between Fordham University and the United States Air Force Academy, and I'm honored to be looked at by both. But I want to take my time. Right now I got to focus on my high school season before I make any official decisions for myself.
Sure. Well, two good programs. Well, best of luck this weekend. Trying to go for a state championship here, and thanks for spending the time with us. And also, excellent job ignoring all these trolling comments. You did a fantastic job, Ryan.
I wasn't trying to pay attention to them. I was just honored that I could be here. Thank you.
All right. Take care and good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right. Talking a little Pennsylvania high school water polo. We do have to give a shout out. Those were what they consider the big school state championships. We have to give a shout out to all the small school teams that are playing, and we don't know the results yet, obviously, of this year, because there's also a small school Final Four this weekend at Wilson High School too. But shout out last year's small school champs, Muhlenberg and Villa Maria, not sure on that one. But those two schools won the small school titles last year. And then, as we know, North Penn, the dominant program in the big school championship last year as well. It'll all get decided this weekend at Wilson High School. So best of luck to everyone in the Final Four on both the boys and girls side. We'll have state championship photos and results on the USA Water Polo social media channels right here on Instagram once we get those state championship photos in. Again, good luck and thanks for joining us.